Welcome to Around the Table with Powerful Women. I'm Joy Caffrey.
I'm Wendy Edgy.
And I'm Christi Daniels.
Today we're going to be talking about procrastination. Something that I'm guessing we're all really familiar with.
Can we do this later?
Let's put this one off a little bit.
That was perfect. Right?
Mm-hmm. So I have a memory from 6th grade. We had a 6th grade teacher in our elementary school. That's the time when you got to write the big full reports. It was a big deal. This teacher was known for his reports. I put mine off, I guess, way too long because I had to write a little paragraph about why I procrastinated.
Is that where you learned the word?
Yes. Procrastination was horrible. That's what you did. So yeah, so I have this vivid memory of it, of being in my body. Yeah, and tell me any of your just early experiences of that feeling of, I put this one off, or I procrastinated.
I'm not sure that I have an early memory. It feels like it's just always been the way I operate. I'm one of those people who needs pressure, and I do good when I'm forced to focus.
Yeah.
So I, in a way, I use procrastination as a tool to delay things and then drive my focus.
Right.
So I have like a different.
That's a different take on it. Yeah, I like that.
And actually, can I say one thing quick? Is I heard that's percolation versus procrastination.
Oh.
Okay, so define for me. So percolation.
So percolation is for those of us that we're really doing the work in the back of our mind, but then we wait till the deadline gets close to actually produce. The difference between percolation and procrastination is with percolators, they actually still succeed at doing what they're going to do. They still pull it off. If they're in school, they still get the A or the B, or they still do it. And knowing Christi, I know that you're still pulling off beautifully what you intended to do. Procrastinators, they never bring their full self to the task. So even though they're capable of the A or the B, they get the C or the D because they put it off too long, or they missed the job opportunity, or they missed the audition for the play.
Right, they're not using it as a tool.
Yeah.
It's actually they're missing what they need to accomplish to reach
so
their
it's more
goal.
of self-sabotage. Yeah.
Wow. Well, I'm really not a procrastinator. That's not one of my issues. I have many others, but that's not one of them. But in the various volunteer efforts and things that I do, I run across procrastinators frequently, although some of them are really percolators. I didn't realize that. Yeah, right. And so I feel like sometimes I'm the force that's saying, well, we have this deadline, but it comes out of this, perfectionistic, things that I'm always working to not have so much as a force in my life, so that's a different topic.
Perfectionism even falls in here.
Yeah, okay, so.
Yeah. Well, I had read an article, actually this is so funny. I was going to give a talk on the subject of individualism, procrastination, and power at Unity, and was waiting in my percolation stage. And out of just total synchronicity, I found out of nowhere on my desk in this kitchen an article on procrastination. And I was like, wait, where is this from? Where did it come from? And I looked at, it's my handwriting on the back, and there's notes. It was from 1983 when I was in college. I saved this article. And I have no idea how it got pulled out of somewhere in my house. Decades.
Wow.
That was like...
That's the universe saying, okay, Joy.
Exactly. I'll talk about this. But one of the things that was in the article is that there was three main... so this is a study. The person that wrote it had taught and did research at Berkeley, and they were researching with Berkeley students. And they said there's three main reasons for procrastination unrelated to time management, which is what a lot of people associate procrastination with. And those were, they fell into the fear of failure, the fear of success, and rebellion. And that fear of failure and success also falls onto perfectionism.
Right.
Is a similar thing. Yeah.
And I have experienced both of those, fear of failure and fear of success, sometimes all in one day. But so I can relate to that for sure.
Yeah.
But for some reason it doesn't drive me to kind of put things off. in fact, it could be just this underlying anxiety that's like, gotta get this done, and so then I feel like it relieves the anxiety if I just get it finished,
So it's going to relieve pressure.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To follow through with the task.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I've seen those elements in working with other people. The rebellion part, I see that a lot.
I relate to that one.
Did you really?
I'm such a I have a real rebellious nature, and if I really, even against myself, but of those three, I related to that one. And if I didn't generate the idea myself, and then I could rebel against the task at hand, or rebel about being an adult and having to do adulting things like cleaning the toilets.
Oh, right. All those things go to the bottom of the list. Maybe I could say that I procrastinate about those things.
You can find your territory. Oh wait, maybe I do.
I think it's really interesting because what this is bringing up for me is that the adulting stuff, the responsible actions, that we all know we should take. I know I should take. They don't seem very sexy in the moment.
Right.
Like I'm looking for what's alive right now?
Yeah.
Ooh, what can I do here? Sometimes what's alive is like cleaning my house,
Right.
and it's but it's like it's a delay. But since I'm an auditory and kinesthetic learner, I kind of like process that way. And so I'd rather do these other things and then have this one thing out there later to do, and I guess I kind of shut down all the I guess it's not interesting or whatever, but it's like oh my goodness, if I don't do this right now, I'm not going to show up and not have it done. Okay, got to do it now.
Right. Yeah.
And so it almost forces us forced sense of spontaneity. I'm not sure if that makes sense.
Forced sense of spontaneity.
It forces
Right, for focus. Right, I think that's...
I know my toilet's gonna get clean when a guest is coming over.
Right.
Yeah,
Right? And that's that pressure. Like, oh my God, they're here. And literally sometimes we've been having where people are coming over and I'm in the bathroom right before they're coming.
Yes.
I'm just throwing that one out there because that's my least favorite task.
Right.
That's what I'm gonna put off doing.
Well, and there's certain things when you're having a guest that you want to do so they're comfortable.
Yeah.
And so that's the pressure is applied and you have to do it,
Yeah, and this goes to Gretchen Rubin's 4 types.
It's the habits, right?
Yeah,
the personality types.
Yeah, and so she talks about, you're a rebel, which is what you touched on, or are you an accommodator? There's another word for it.
There's the enforcer, the one who they honor their own tasks and the tasks created outside of them, their obligations to themselves.
Yes.
Yeah, so there's upholders. Sorry, it's upholders.
That's right.
Upholders, obligers, rebels, and the one who... Questioners. Yeah, questioners. Yeah, that's in terms of our habits and how do we tend to them or what...
Or tendencies.
Tendencies. Yeah.
Do you think, I think some people procrastinate about certain things, and that's their habit and their pattern, like you were talking about cleaning, that might be at the bottom of your list, so you procrastinate about that more readily than maybe a workshop that you're creating, because that's more interesting and it taps into your values and what's important to you.
Right.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll procrastinate on eating vegetables. You're just making me think that. I love when other people cook me vegetables, but when I have to cook them myself.
It's like...
I don't feel like making time for this.
I'll put off eating it, I'll just grab something else. I know that might not relate, I didn't know I was going to throw that out there, but there it was.
It might,
Somehow I related it.
Things like, I always remember this quote, it's sort of related, I guess, well, to what you just said anyway.
Yeah.
It was from a film, Raising Arizona, and he keeps talking about the salad days.
I love that film.
The salad days. Do you remember that line? Because I kind of grabbed onto it because I thought, gosh, yeah, if you're making a salad, you have time to cut up the vegetables properly, put them in a bowl. What happened to the salad days? And so maybe you're just not wanting to make that time to create, whether you're cooking them or making a salad.
Yeah, and we're going off topic.
That's all right.
I decided that I like like eating the vegetables, like when he'll make more salads than me. When he's cutting them or whatever, I like eating them all by themselves individually, but not when they all mix together. Like, I like the vegetables.
So how does that play out with other things in your life? I'm wondering, because she wants to eat the individual vegetables, but not the mixture.
I'm not sure. I will put off thinking about it.
You're gonna put it off.
I'll get back to you on that.
Well, if someone is having an issue with procrastination, if they're continually putting off projects, do you have any suggestions that maybe to get started in changing the habit?
Well, sure. So one, in that study from Berkeley, what I read was one thing that they found was, so they would put through some of the students through a course to overcome procrastination. And what they realized is that the students, class after class, would go through this particular wave. And it was, first they'd feel really optimistic, oh, we're going to do this. And then when reality set in that, that it's whatever related to their daily tasks, then they went into a pessimism. Like, oh, I'm never going to really improve at this. Like, I'm just going to be my same old. And then, and or related to time too. Oh, I could get this much done. Oh, really optimistic and then pessimistic. And then when they got to a realism, like what's the reality? What's the truth? Then they were actually able to get the tasks done. And so that was kind of neat to look at that. Like realistically, what am I capable of doing? Or like what holds me back? So it was honoring, like maybe coming into a little bit of self-acceptance, right, about what holds me back.
Yeah, and it also sounds like you're going through an emotional wave to get to that point where you're pragmatic and
where reality sets in. Yeah. And then one other thing I was reading about was that I mentioned the fear of failure, fear of success, and particularly Richard Berry, a psychologist, was talking about the fear of failure as when a person associates that their worth is defined by their ability, and that their ability is defined by what they produce. And so that fear of failure, like, oh my God, if I don't do it to this idealized image, this expectation of my mind, then I'm not worth what I imagine.
That could really hold somebody back from getting started.
Yeah, my worth is defined by my ability, and my ability is defined by what I produce. And so what I want to tear down, or use this as a healing moment of releasing, is that we have innate self-worth. We don't have to produce to be accomplished or worthy of someone's attention or recognition. Right. And so
I think that's hard in our society sometimes for people to understand that, what kind of job you have, what you've produced, that doesn't really define who you are or your worth as a human being. We come here already worthy,
inherently worthy.
Right.
Inherently worthy.
Yes, absolutely. And especially with all the things in the news about, who is an immigrant and who is a citizen and all this stuff. I just look at it and I think, we're all human beings with our innate self-worth, and I don't understand the idea of you don't belong here and you do, But I think where this is concerned, if at the root of it is a fear of success, all of these elements are so important to bring forward and heal that, and then maybe the procrastination will decrease a bit.
Organically.
Organically,
yeah.
Right.
And in the Brene Brown book, Dare to Lead, she talks about perfectionism and that striving for that. Again, it's associated with that, what we accomplish. And so she has a quote like, I am what I accomplish, and how will I accomplish it? Please perform, perfect, prove. That's setting ourselves up for suffering. Right? And that healthy striving is self-acceptance, and how can I improve because I have this desire or care to, for my own growth, not by how is somebody going to see me, that please someone else, perform for someone else, perfect what I'm doing, prove myself.
Right. Well, all of those things, I can see how it would just paralyze someone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And then on the other side, the fear of success. So I've definitely experienced those feelings many, many times.
Tell me what some of yours are, because I don't know.
I don't know that. I guess I don't know what's at the root of it really, but I know that I have the feeling, I can identify it, And it's when things are really going well and I start to, and maybe it's that the root is self-worth too, because then I look at it and I'm like, well, wait a minute, am I doing that? Are people, actually the other day I said to my wife, wow, another person just joined on Patreon to be a patron of another show that I'm producing, and I'm so delighted that they're investing in me, and sometimes I don't understand it, why they do.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So when I hear that, what I hear is that it is an upper limit.
Yeah, it's belief. I thought about that right.
So it's like that, when you get to that point where, you know, in the Big Leap he talks about a thermostat. And so we have our thermostat set at a certain number, like let's say 70 degrees. And so you can receive and feel good up to 70 degrees. But just like a thermostat, if it gets hotter or cooler, it automatically pops off your thermostat. And so you start either guilty thoughts, selfish thoughts, or self-sabotage to bring yourself down back into that range of
what your stable was.
Your ability to operate.
I see. Interesting.
Yeah. And there's, you're able to adjust that thermostat, right? We have control to be able to do that.
Stretching to growing also.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I wonder how
Yeah.
that might link in with procrastination, not wanting to feel those feelings of guilt or being selfish might prevent us from wanting to do things. Not wanting to hear the critical voices, not wanting to experience the whatever that thing you do it to bring yourself down, overextending.
So you procrastinate on your natural growth or your organic growth.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And there's like a couple ways, like one, you can overdo things, or one, you can underdo things. You can starve yourself, in different ways. They're both different approaches to levelizing your temperature.
Very cool.
I have one of the things I feel about my fear of success. It's fear of being overwhelmed. Like all of a sudden attention. Even me just saying that, I did.
You can feel it. How do you feel it on your body when that comes?
Yeah.
You're feeling it here?
For me, attention wasn't necessarily a good thing, or didn't feel comfortable or safe for me as a child. And I remember one time in first grade, we drew self-portraits, and I remember my portrait so exactly the dress I was wearing, the maroon dress with the maroon and checkered. Anyway, I was voted best self-portrait. But when I was told that in the class, though, the eyes are turning on me, this is what I did. For those of you who can't see, I'm sinking in my chair. I went under, I slid all the way down.
I've had that feeling also,
Yeah.
as people, know who we are in the community for various projects. It's a little bit uncomfortable. And so, I don't know, I think it sort of relates to, it definitely relates to fear of success, for sure. And then, I guess for some people that could put them in a place where they won't complete or start a project because they have those fears.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm walking into it all the time, forcing myself to grow. And I think you do that as well. You both probably do that.
Yeah, we're here right now.
Yeah, we're here.
Doing something new.
In front of the mics, in front of the cameras. It's interesting.
How about you, Christi?
I'm recognizing, just listening and, hearing the conversation, I am recognizing that I do have, a sense of failure, a sense of success. Those fears do contribute to the percolation / procrastination. There's this, for me, having a thing that I know I need to do out here, almost, there's a deep fear, which I'm going to be super vulnerable here, that I'm irrelevant, that my existence doesn't matter. Take it or leave it, come or go. And so that, knowing that there's something out there that I need to do, it's almost like it helps me not need to take a look at that. Because I know there's something I need to do.
You have something.
And as long as I have that, then there's a reason
Yeah.
for me to be here and to do something, which is strange. But yeah, that's what it made me think of. thinking about this topic.
Right.
That sense of irrelevance.
I can relate to that too.
Yeah, it reminds me of a Rumi quote. You're not a drop in the ocean, you're the ocean in a drop.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, yeah, that's expansiveness is all inside of you, and you're so relevant.
Absolutely.
It's those
that come up. We all have them in different forms, and yeah.
So, is it time for us
You know
to
what?
talk?
I realized I didn't look at the clock. Did you?
Oh.
Before we started.
I did not, but I could guess, and I'm guessing it's time for us to talk about an upcoming event.
Yes.
That has to do with procrastination.
Yes.
And Bulldozer Health.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to, for people who don't know about Bulldozer Health, can you tell us what it is?
So Bulldozer Health is a 501c3 nonprofit organization that I started, and the mission is to educate everyone about all their health options, improve access to alternative health care, and inspire people to optimal health. And so everything that we do comes back to that mission. We have an alternative health network, or as I like to call it, a health network. Yes. Here in Arkansas, it's also in Massachusetts, Connecticut, and Rhode Island.
Awesome. Girl.
Yeah, and so it started actually, I wanted to start in Massachusetts where I'm from, and also in Arkansas, which was kind of a big task at the time, but I got sick in Arkansas. I got very ill in 2011, and mainstream medicine nearly bankrupted me, and I ended up on 16 pharmaceutical drugs in a power wheelchair and needed someone to bathe me and dress me. And so out of that experience, a couple of years later, I was still on all the drugs. The doctors said I couldn't come off of anything because I had a diagnosis to go with every drug. And so I was just existing. I had progressed to arm crutches, and I could do some self-care myself, but I couldn't drive, and there were many things I still was struggling with. And so I had a kind of a life change. I found myself alone in my house there, and a couple of months went by, and I heard this voice that said, "Your body knows how to heal itself."
That's so beautiful.
And that was something I already knew, but I had forgotten, because when the doctor says you're going to die and you need to take all these drugs, sometimes the mind I just wanted to survive. So even though I knew better, I was doing everything that they said, and I believe that I would have died if I had continued with all of those drugs.
Yeah, sometimes we give our power away to people that we think know better than our own body knows.
Right,
Yeah.
and so I started weaning off the drugs and started using alternative or complementary healthcare, including cannabis and other herbs and chiropractor, acupuncture, all of that, and looking at lifestyle choices, started eating well, whole foods. A vegetarian diet for me worked well, and exercising and positive thinking, and came off of 14 of the 16 drugs myself. I was addicted to opiates and Valium and other drugs, and didn't even realize it until I started trying to come off of them. But the reason I'm giving a little synopsis of my story is because it brought me to this place where I realized that people don't have access to what they really need for true health. That includes healthy food. It includes having time to care for themselves and meditate and think positively. People are working 2 and 3 jobs. And I had to reach into my pocket for everything I wanted to do. It was a real struggle. Thankfully, I had some friends who were helping me. And so I started Bulldozer Health because I want other people to not have to suffer and to realize that, the healthcare system really mainly offers you pills, tests, and surgery. And if you're in the market for something else, you have to go outside of that. And most people today can't afford to do that. So I wanted to provide that education through various, workshops and events and writings. We have a blog and other things. And then developed this health network that, as we raise money, we've really been a grassroots organization raising money in a very labor-intensive way for about almost 5 years now. We have helped many people to access alternative health, but now we're working on some other options to reach more people and make it more accessible.
And there's ways that donors can donate to Bulldozer Health.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The website is bulldozerhealth.org, and anyone can make a donation, of course. And if you're a health provider and you want to join the health network, it's one-time fee of $150, and your ad goes on the website. And so
I jumped in on joining it because I love what Bulldozer Health
Thank you.
stands for.
I really
Yeah.
appreciate that. We have such great providers in all of the states, and so I'm working on trying to make it into kind of an insurance that people will be able to access. I think that's probably the best way that more people can receive help and participate. So that's definitely a project.
And you have an open house, right?
Yeah, you have an actual location now.
Yes, so our first physical location is here in Fayetteville, Arkansas, and and we have an open house coming up, and it's really exciting. Lots of practitioners who are part of the network will be at the event. At our events, it's also a chance for some access to care, so they frequently will do many free things that people can access, and then, there'll be other things that may cost. And we also have workshops at this open house, and I'm so excited and proud that you're going to be giving a workshop.
Yeah. In fact, I'll be talking about procrastination and combining it with empowerment, and how do those two intersect. And so we'll be looking at that, and it's a way, there'll be a charge so that I can be giving some of the money to Bulldozer Health.
Absolutely.
So I want to help the cause, and I'd love to share the information that I have to empower people.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's a really important topic. I think it holds people back from reaching their full potential, and it relates to health in that way. The project includes art and music and health, it really encompasses all aspects of life. It all can come back to wellness and health.
Exactly, holistic.
Yes, yes. And so if someone has this issue really strongly, it will hold them back, and then this creates more anxiety.
And shame and guilt.
Right, and all those things are seeds of illness.
Yeah, not dull. So this is going to be October
21st.
21st. Okay.
Yes.
So
October.
I had the date wrong.
I'm so glad I put
Yes. October 21st.
Okay, good.
And what are the hours?
It's from 1 to 6, and so there'll be practitioners set up outside. We actually sublet to health providers, and they will be in their offices. We have someone who does massage and energy work, and Jenny Dietzel's a naturopath who has an office at Bulldozer Health, and M. Hartley is new, she does EFT. So we'll all be there in the workshops, and then Papa Rap is going to perform also, and you can feel free to bring your children, and the Culture Cafe will be providing some delicious food for really low cost, but homemade, great food. And so we're pretty excited to bring the whole community together here in Fayetteville.
Sounds like fun. So where is Bulldozer Health?
It's it's at 2243 North College. It's across from Seductions. Everyone knows where that is. I didn't realize they were open all night. They're open 24 hours. I realized after being at Bulldozer Health so much. So yes.
It's another aspect of health.
There it is, and it's available all the time. Look at that.
Well, that sounds like a wrap for today.
I think
it is. We may be out of time. I don't know.
Do you think? Okay.
We could procrastinate a little bit. Is it over? I don't know. Well,
here's to Soulful, Edgy, and Joyful Life. Soulful, Edgy, Joyful Life.
see you next time.
Thanks for watching or listening.